room. Yet another Stoltz update with Ed Hamell of Hamell
on trial.
On trial. I think that
I know some people get confused. It's a solo act, and yet it's kind of a band name.
Right. Exactly. And what's funny is that that's exactly where I was sort of going to say, well, okay,
it does confuse.
It's Hamell on trial, but Ed Hamell, no. For those of you who missed this Alejandro show with Ed opening up, shame on you. Shame on you.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Ryan's tough like that.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I go a little overboard.
Take off your hair shirt.
No,
stop flogging yourself at home.
Right. No, but truth be told, you missed a fantastic performance. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Great venue.
This just in, he's coming back, and he's coming to the Stoltz room April 23rd.
2-3.
2-3. That's not that hard. 23, the number 23.
April 23rd.
Reoccurs.
It's a while from now, but come with my buddy Whammo. For those of you who are familiar with the Asylum Street Spankers, if you're not familiar with his band, the Asylum Street Spankers, you could YouTube Asylum Street Spankers SUV and see a wonderful video, over 1 million hits, of how funny and entertaining, and really Whammo is a genius. Kind of Charles Bukowski meets Lenny Bruce meets Jim Morrison meets, I don't know how to explain him, but he's something else.
I'm sold.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool stuff.
I heard your CD
before
you came.
Okay.
I didn't know that you were even playing this particular show. I just thought there was a prospect for later. And one of the things that took me by surprise, but I found to be so pleasant, was the spoken word, the poetry within your music. You don't. I mean, I can name one band right now off the top of my head, the Hold Steady. They were one of the first bands. One of the first times.
That's funny. I love the Hold Steady, but I was doing this way before that.
Oh no, I'm not.
But I love them. I love them.
No, and I remember that that feeling of sort of like there's a statement in here, and yet I'm still listening, and it's not just about the music. It's not just, so what made you decide to go that route? Did you decide at all, or is this just sort of what you did?
No, I didn't decide at all. I mean, a couple things. One of which is like when I first started playing solo, which now is more than 15 years ago, as hard as that is to believe. I'd played in bands prior, and I really didn't intend to play solo. Didn't really listen to folk music that much at that time. There was, obviously the Woody Guthries and the Bob Dylans, but I was kind of a rocker and more of a punk rocker. And but it became increasingly difficult to play in a band financially and spiritually, and and then I was sort of forced into it. I was offered some gigs solo, so I said, all right, I'll check it out. And so to differentiate myself from the singer-songwriters of the world, I called it Hamell on Trial. It was because my first gig, a lot of musicians were going to be checking it out. As a joke, thinking I would never do it again, I called it Hamell on Trial. And then that sort of stuck. And then, but I was listening to like a lot of, as much as the rock and roll and the folk and blues and jazz I was listening to, we were talking earlier, Ryan and I, about specifically Bill Hicks, Lenny Bruce, and Richard Pryor. And I had grown up with those guys, and when I was a kid, we'd have these albums in the basement that were rock albums, but we would take out a Richard Pryor album and listen to it like it was a rock album. Mm-hmm. Lenny Bruce like it was a rock album. Bill Hicks wasn't around then. And then I was also like watching like a lot of one-man shows like Spalding Gray Swimming in Cambodia, and Lily Tomlin did one, Life on Earth, and and Intelligent Life in the Universe or something. And I would watch I was like, wow, this. I wonder how much of these elements I could bring into what supposedly is a purely musical thing. And frankly, I'm not the greatest singer, and I'm not going to ever be the great ballad singer. It was easy for me to talk. I would listen to like in Charles Bukowski. To my mind, I can listen to some of the great poets and Kerouac. I could listen to that stuff like it's music to me. More. I find it, like a regular pop song. After a couple times, I'm not that interested. But some of the, I can listen to Bill Hicks over and over and over again, and the nuances and the timing, and I find it just as interesting as music, interesting as music.
Myself as well. I remember growing up listening to comedy albums the same, in a very similar fashion. Just put it on, you listen to it beginning to end.
Listen to it again.
Yeah, you appreciate the art of it. You appreciate the structure, the time it takes to develop such a thing, and you think to yourself, wow, I'm supposed to laugh, but at the same time, like, there's so much substance here.
Yeah.
A lot of times, anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So just to talk a little more about what you do, obviously I just saw it. Some who are watching this now obviously haven't seen it. If you could characterize it in maybe a sentence or two, what would you say people would see when they see Hamell on trial?
That's a tough. I mean, I'll come up with a sentence, but it is a tough sell. And in that, if you even were to say to me, "Hey, let's go see this guy," and he's bald and he plays the acoustic guitar and he yells at the audience, and I would think, well, I don't know, but my definition of rock and roll can be, all the people that we've talked about. Could be Little Richard, to the Hold Steady, to Kerouac, to Bukowski, to Bill Hicks. I mean, to my mind, all of those are rock and roll. Like, maybe Apocalypse Now is a rock and roll movie or something.
Sure, absolutely.
That more so than Bon Jovi, who I don't think has anything to do with rock and roll. I don't think it does. And so what? So what is the sentence? Well, the sentence would be entertaining, yes, but challenging, yes. Thought-provoking, yes. It should be a roller coaster ride of emotions that ultimately it's cathartic. Some of that stress and tension could be released.
Right.
But also introducing maybe some conception. Not to be too, because there's plenty of dick jokes. But introducing some concepts that you might be a hair uncomfortable with. Right. That's okay. That was how rock and roll started. People were like, "Oh, this is a little dangerous."
Right. Yeah, dangerous. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Absolutely.
So I guess I could articulate it better, but that would be, it's dangerous, but it's funny.
Right. Well, it's
rock and dangerous and funny.
Rock, dangerous, and funny. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I think that's one of the in watching it, I felt. You get a sense of comfort. Like there's no, and
that's cool.
And
great.
I feel when you see you,
comfort's good.
Yeah, it was just like there's somebody who is completely comfortable on stage.
I am very comfortable
in presenting.
More so, oddly enough, more so on stage than it was funny because Alejandro and I were talking, and I was saying, man, I'm so much more comfortable there than like at the bus stop with the other parents. And Alejandro was saying, well, who is? Everybody in this room, was all musicians and artists. Yeah, that is tough, the real world is, I don't know. I don't know if there's any tried and true. The older I get, I've made some choices, and some of those choices are unorthodox, the life of an artist, particularly in these economic times, art versus commerce. I was saying to some of the administration here, this is a gorgeous place, and this cannot be easy to maintain. So, and arts, I mean, it's funded for the arts. I mean, that's astonishing in this day and age.
All right, well, what better way to sort of introduce you to Ed Hamell than to show what he did and what you missed and what hopefully you will come back to see in the Stoltz room on April 23rd. Here it is, segue.
Enjoy! Would it kill you?
Cold, bitter day. The street deserted. The music store is the only shop open. I stand outside, my hands are jammed in my empty pockets. Bunch of guitars crowd eager in the front, but an old battered acoustic in the back spoke to me. Hey, cracked whisper voice. Buddy, you want to go for a ride? I'm skeptical. This guitar's almost dust. I say, what you got in mind, old timer? That guitar pushed its way to the front. Saintly. Sincere. Go for a ride, boy. Ancient faces, chariot races, forbidden places, exotic embraces, pyramid construction, camel riding, time machine gliding, white line fever believer, ride the thumb to Texaco, Mexico, gas card, siphon hose, no-nos, ride the lightning, ride the wild surf, ride a white swan, Jenny, take a ride for God's sakes. I said, whoa, hold on there, chatty baby. I say, how old are you anyway, guitar? And that guitar said, I was born in 37. On the road by 11. I can play as sweet as an axe from heaven, but I need a partner to start here. Like the James Boys, Frank and Jesse. Like the Untouchables with Elliot Nessie. Like Bonnie and Clyde when they get aggressive. Like Romeo and Juliet, they start their caressy. Like Bartles and James, a pause to refreshy. Like Salt and Pepper, like to see them undressy. Like Sid and Nancy did and Gone, God bless it. Like the Everly Brothers, other voices they mention. Like Jake LaMotta and his brother Joe Pesci. I said, whoa, hold on there, Tandem Ted. I say, how much you cost anyway, guitar? And that guitar said, I'm a mere $200, which was in fact true at the time. And I said, well, I only got a mere $10, which was in fact true at the time. And that guitar said, well, you go through the door over there, and you give that $10 to the man behind the counter, and you pay the balance off quick, you know, when your ship comes in. So I gave that man the $10, and you know, I waited for my ship to come in. I go down the dock every day, my little boating sneakers, my sailor's cap, my Thurston Howell the third blazer, my fish sticks. I borrow binoculars. I scan the 7 seas. No ship. I launched flares. I went to nautical school. I got a job as a longshoreman. I learned how to walk like Marlon Brando and on the waterfront. I studied Moby Dick. I got a tattoo that read Ishmael. No ship. I sold sails. I drank with pirates. I yo-ho-hoed a bottle of rum. I composed sea shanties. I rented Jaws. I watched reruns of The Love Boat. I collected coral. I lived in a lighthouse. I bought scuba gear. I hired divers to raise the Titanic. I took the confession of the old man of the sea. I bribed Charlie Tuna. I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day. Bingo, ships, but not mine. You know, I anticipated a very cold winter vice fishing, but my wife paid off the guitar as a birthday present. Epilogue, Crime and Punishment, love story. The Crying Game, love story. Brokeback Mountain, absolutely a love story. All those shit about the guitar ultimately distills to a love story. Now, I gotta write the hooky chorus for the big hit record, and just like Justin Bieber, I'm gonna bring home the bacon. It's a love story. It's a love story. It's a love story.
So, again, that was a fantastic performance. And
thank you.
We are incredibly appreciative of you coming. We obviously we love having Alejandro back. I think this is his 3rd time here, maybe 4th. I could be wrong. So there's nothing like good company. So we do appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
And real quick, we also want to talk about something that's happening this weekend. John Doe will be here on the 29th in the Stoltz room. Yes. The John Doe.
That's Saturday?
That's Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to
be... What time's the show?
8 p.m.
Yeah. Has he got an opener?
That I couldn't tell you. I don't believe so. I think it'll be 2 sets of him. Generally, that's what we'll do in the Stoltz room.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. You know, myself grew up a big-time punker, loving the obscure...
Did you ever see X? Did you get a chance to
I have not seen X. Yeah,
because it was a return tour.
Right, exactly. That was something I absolutely missed out
on. I never saw them either. I love him. And the sound, I loved X. And I opened up for him probably 5 years ago in Chicago. He had a band. And it was great, but it was, the voice, there's nothing like that voice. I love
Absolutely.
him, It really melted you talk about comfort, it really melted my heart. I forgot. It's weird when you hear something that familiar and then you hear it live and then it's like, wow, I forgot how much I really loved him.
Right, absolutely.
Right, we've started a show. Great.
We have. This is the beginning
the
of
Ryan and Ed show.
It could be the Ed and Ryan show.
You can take it. It's yours. It's your flip camera.
Oh my God!
You own the camera. Oh. Until I bring my camera in, it's Ryan and Ed.
Awesome. Well, Ed, thank you so much for being here.
I hope they'll come to the show. We'll have a great time. I'd love to see the room sold out.
Oh, it'll be fantastic. April 23rd. And again, don't forget John Doe this weekend, this Saturday, the 29th, 8 p.m. In fact, we're going to leave you with a clip of his. This is a clip of him in San Francisco playing a benefit show, playing his song from, what's the movie? Black Snake Moon.
Okay, I got the movie. Here's the song. I don't know that I ever knew you. I don't know that I ever knew you. But you say you see right through me. The moon is bright and the road is clear. The moon is bright and the road is clear. Did you just say the end is near? You said you gave me all your kisses. You said you gave me all your kisses. Now you're fed up 'cause you feel kissless. There's doom in my heart and blood in your eyes. There's doom in my heart and blood in your eyes. I wish we weren't losing kind. I wish we weren't losing kind.
YouTube it, look it up. John Doe. Remember X. Remember about the Knitters. I mean, remember him. He's actually a Baltimore native. So
screw X and the Knitters. Remember her with the chain. What was her name with Samuel Jackson? And then what was the
Christina Ricci.
How can you not watch? She's scantily clad. That wasn't bad.
No,
come on.
As a film, no. You get your jollies off, and you hear somebody who's coming to the Avalon. So it works. You get two.
Right. Maybe Christina will be here. I'd come and see.
I know.
She's going to be here April 23rd.
Yeah. Christina Ricci and Sam Jackson will be the opening act on
April 23rd. And Christina Ricci will be scantily clad joining us on stage. So how could you miss it?
Oh my goodness. Hamell on Trial, Ryan Finch, signing off. Thank you.